Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. This is the December 23rd edition of the Carolina Weather Video here. And we'll start off with a look at the temperatures across the lower 48 this morning. And a couple things to point out. First of all, notice the bubble of warmth here across the southern plains and the lower Mississippi Valley. That is going to fuel the chance of some severe weather over the next 24 to 36 hours down in that part of the country. And also, again, notice the really brutal cold is still bottled up into Canada, but we're going to see some of that be able to push down into the central and the eastern part of the country here as we get later on into the Christmas weekend. The radar this morning beginning to light up as we're beginning to see our next major storm system that's going to affect a lot of folks take shape. Raining in the lower Mississippi Valley and parts of the Missouri Valley this morning. Snow beginning to break out through parts of Colorado and Kansas especially, also parts of the desert southwest. And look at all the winter weather watches, warnings, and advisories that are out covering a lot of places here. That's all of these shades of white, yellow, and pink. And we're going to see a major winter storm take shape over the plains and the western Great Lakes region. And that's going to be a disruptive winter storm. It's going to be a blizzard, in fact, over much of the plains and the western Great Lakes over the next couple of days. So let's go to the modeling. 6C run of the GFS. This is valid at 1 o'clock this afternoon. At that point in time, you're looking at an area of low pressure taking shape in western Texas. Some rain, even some thunderstorms out ahead of that. Snow breaking out in the colder air on the northwest side of the system. And there's the day one convective outlook. Severe thunderstorms a possibility today in eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, parts of Arkansas, and Louisiana as well. And so this will be one of those dynamic systems where you have snow and severe weather associated with it. And boy, this thing really begins to crank tomorrow on Christmas Eve. And the 6C run of the GFS here is indicating a 992 millibar low there in northwestern Arkansas. And you're looking at still the possibility of some severe weather through the lower Mississippi Valley with this. And the snow really cranking up in this colder air part of the system. Now we go out to Christmas morning, 7 o'clock Christmas morning. The precipitation moving through our region at that point in time, and it'll gradually slide east through the region on Christmas Day. Now, we are going to have a cold air damming scenario in place as that precipitation arrives. So the air mass initially pretty cold and relatively dry, and we will probably see a period of some freezing rain in the northwest Piedmont and the northern foothills. In fact, with the cold and dry air in place initially, let me show you a couple things. This is the wet bulb temperatures off of the GFS model, and this is at 1 o'clock Christmas morning. And really what the wet bulb temperature is essentially a simple definition is if you were to saturate the atmosphere, in other words, or if precipitation were to begin to fall, this would be generally where your temperature landed as that precip was occurring. So the wet bulb temperature, we're looking at the wet bulb temperature freezing line right there at that point in time on the GFS. And let's look at the NAM model. This is 7 o'clock Christmas morning. And at that point in time, the freezing line in terms of the wet bulb temperatures is right there. All right, so with that said, here's what the Canadian is indicating. The Canadian model shows that freezing rain potential, certainly in the northern foothills, northern mountains, and the northwest Piedmont. This is valid at, let's see, it'd be midnight there, right as we switch over to Christmas morning. Here's the NAM, indicating that mixed precipitation and mainly be freezing rain there in the northwest Piedmont and back into the foothills region. And because of that, there you go. That is the probability of at least a quarter inch of ice accumulation. You're looking at a 10% probability there for the foothills and the extreme northwestern Piedmont, the northern mountains as well. So what I think we see happen is that precipitation move in Thursday night certainly could be a period of freezing rain for the northwest Piedmont, especially, say, Surry, Yadkin County, and then back through the foothills and into the mountains. But I think most spots are going to kick over, even the spots that are seeing freezing rain will kick over to just a plain chilly rain as we get into Christmas Day itself. Could be some icing issues in the northwest part of the Piedmont, say from the Triad and points north and west. Could be looking at a freezing rain advisory type of deal on Christmas morning for a while. But I think we will kick over to plain old rain in most spots, except for the really coldest locations right up against the eastern side of the mountains. as Christmas Day unfolds. All right, so let's go out beyond that. Rest of Christmas weekend. Saturday looks quiet and a dry day. Sunday, we begin to see that big upper level low slide eastward. So Sunday looks chilly and quiet. And then on Monday, as the main upper level energy moves through, can't rule out Sunday night and Monday a little bit of a flurry action as that energy comes through, but it does not look like a huge deal. Now, again, where's the pattern headed? Still looks like a very interesting weather pattern as we go through next week and into early January. This is the day 8 to 10 mean, European on the left, GFS on the right, and still all the basic players are on the field here. Some big ridging in western Canada, and you're looking at an active southern branch below that, and some cold air in the eastern part of North America. So all the main players still on the field for an active stretch of weather. So this is what the GFS shows. This is back the 0Z run, and it showed a first system moving through New Year's Eve, indicating some wintry weather potential. Another major system wrapping up around the 5th. At face value, that'd be rain here across our region. But again, you don't look at details at this range. And a lot of cold air. I know some folks indicating a big change to warm as we get into beyond the new year. And certainly that's possible, but most indications I'm seeing right now indicate things are going to stay generally cold and generally stormy as we get through the first week to 10 days of January. So we'll see how that plays out. Still looks like there's certainly potential for some wintry weather as we go through the next few weeks. The first wintry weather possibility with the next week's system would be anywhere from midweek to New Year's Eve probably, and then we'll see how the systems line up after that. So it looks like a fun and interesting time ahead if you like active wintry weather chances, at least here across the region. No guarantees, of course. You have to get all the timing to work out, but it certainly looks like an interesting stretch of weather. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day today, and God bless.